Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom, shalom. All right, and this brother Nabala here with another lesson. All right, and I just wanted to I went on here on Chat GPT this morning, and pretty much just typed in, you know, um, articles, of ICE agents shooting and unaliving, going door to door and entering homes without warrants. All right, and this is all that popped up. Um, and this goes to show you, all right, that you know um Jacob's trouble, is going to continue, to intensify. All right, the scriptures tell you that the devil shall come down unto you, roughly paraphrasing, the devil shall come down having great wrath. All right, in the book of Revelations 12 and 12, which we'll get. All right, but these are just some of the articles, man. That just goes to show you, that these federal agents, all right, these ICE agents, they have immunity. All right, they have immunity, man. They got the immunity to get away with these things. All right, they got the immunity to override your constitutional rights. All right, but this is all according to prophecy, man. All right, these are draconian. These are draconian measures. All right, that's you know these governments, or the government, is allowing these federal agents, these ICE agents, to get away with. All right, so it says here, all right, here it says here's an up to date summary of major widely reported incidents and developments involving U.S. immigration and custom enforcement. ICE agents in Minnesota, including shootings, forced entries into homes, and alleged door-to-door actions and legal controversy over warrants. And this was just posted today on Star Tribune. All right, and it says here, all right, it says federal agents shoot and killed Minneapolis man. DHS officials say he was armed. All right. So, who knows, if he was armed or not. I got to look more into this article, but it's just the fact that these federal agents and these ICE agents, man, are having immunity to doing these things, man. Just like they unalived that lady Renee Good. All right, supposedly she put a ICE agent in danger, and so he shot her in the face, man. All right. So Jacob's trouble is gonna continue to increasingly get worse, man. All right. I seen an article where ICE detained a 7-year old child, in a hospital parking lot, man. All right, in a hospital parking lot, man, with a nosebleed. So that just goes to show you, man, they don't have no uh, 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 they have no respect, for elder women, young men, young children, elder men. All right, there's no respect. And what the scriptures tell you, man, there's no respect to persons, man, according to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man. So if there's judgment, you know, um, uh, written for you, man, that's just what it is. All right. The scriptures tell you, man, there is no respect to persons, man. Yahweh Bashim Al Shai does not respect a persons, man. He doesn't matter who you are, man. All right. You're gonna get judged. All right, at the end of the day. All right. Um, Here's another article. All right, let's get to this one. It says a U.S. citizen says ICE forced open the door to his Minnesota home and removed him in his underwear after a warrantless search. All right, so that's the immunity that they have, man. All right, and I believe that's your Second Amendment. All right, let me see. Of course, this one, the Renee Good. It says federal prosecutors blocked from investigating Renee Good. Yeah, man. All right, so it says here, fatal shootings by ICE agents in Minneapolis. It says there has been multiple shootings involving ICE or federal agents in Minnesota in January 2026 amid a large immigration enforcement operation. All right, we know this one, Renee Good. All right, she was unalived January 7th, 2026. All right, it says a 37-year-old woman, Renee Good, was fatally shot by ICE agent in Minnesota during an enforcement action. Federal officials initially said she posted a threat. All right, supposedly. All right, so um, it says local leaders and family dispute the narrative. It says Hennepin County Medical Examiner ruled her death as a homicide from multiple gunshot wounds by ICE agents involved. Man, all right. It says additional shootings says federal agents have also shot and killed another armed individual in Minnesota, reported January 24th. All right, which is actually what's today, I believe. What's today? Yep, January 24th, man. Today. It says an early incident involving other people that drew widespread local attention. It says these shootings have sparked widespread protest. All right, and scriptures tell you that about that, man. All right, there's going to be, you know, uproars of the people. All right, it tells you that in the book of Second Esdras, man. There's going to be uproars, man, protests. All right, all around the world, man. Not just here in Babylon, but all around the world. All right, with these things taking place. It says public outcry and political condemnation from some federal and state leaders demand accountability and changes in the policy. All right, so um, let's get that. What is it? Revelations 12:12, man, because this devil's coming down having great wrath, man. All right, it says here, Revelations 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath a short time. All right, so this devil is busting out all of his, bringing out, all of his moves right now, man. All right, this devil's making moves. All right, because he know that he has, a short time. All right, so he's trying to bring order out of chaos. All right, that's what this devil's trying to do. All right, bring forth chaos so he can have a solution to it. All right, and part of the solution is bringing in these federal agents and these ICE agents, man. All right, and these and bring forth military policing. All right, to try to put fear in the people. All right, to get the people to get the people under control. All right, so this is just some of his tricks and his gimmicks, man. That Esau Edom is bringing forth. But the scriptures tell you, in the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11, that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We know Satan. We know this devil's plans, man. All right, we know his plans. We know that this devil ultimately, wants to bring in this NWO, all right, this New World Order, all right. We know that he wants to implement the MOTB, all right. So this is, he's taking his steps, all right. He's this is it's called what's called gradualism, all right. That's what he's doing, man. He's bringing forth gradualism, all right, with all this chaos and these protests and all these things that we're seeing, all right, which you know this is all orchestrated. All right, this is all orchestrated. This is all set up. Okay. We see these things set up, man. We see all these things set up. They use crisis actors. All right. They do things to, upset the people. All right, because they know, when they do things like that, it's gonna cause uproars. All right, civil unrest. Okay. Um, what was the other one I was gonna get? Uh, Man, there was another one I was gonna get. Is it no, I can't remember. All right, we'll go back. It says two forced entry homes and arrests. It says several incidents have been reported in which ICE or federal immigration agents have entered or attempted to enter private residences. It says Garrison Gibson, home entry, January 11th, 2026. It says ICE agents forced their way into a Minneapolis home with a battering ram to arrest Garrison Gibson. It says his legal team and federal judge said the agent did not present a judicial judge-signed warrant before entering, which raised constitutional concerns under the Fourth Amendment. Man, you see, so these devils, man, they're able to they got immunity to this, man. They got immunity to this. All right, they got immunity to entering homes, man. All right, this is all part of Jacob's trouble, and it's going to continue to get worse. All right. It says U.S. citizens detained without warrant. It says a St. Paul man, Chongley Scott Thao, was detained at gunpoint inside his home by ICE agents. All right. It says removed outside in his underwear in cold conditions and later released when authorities acknowledged he was a U.S. citizen without what the family says was a proper judicial warrant, man. So these damn ICE agents, man, and these federal agents, man, they're just going into people's homes, without warrant, man. Without any type of warrant, man. Those. It's just that's just crazy. All right, but this is all part of prophecy, man. All right. Um, let me see. Uh, let me see. Here's some of the key points. It says shootings. It says multiple. It says multiple fatal or use of force incidents involve ICE or federal agents have occurred, prompting investigation and protests, right? Because these things, when these ICE agents do things like that, it's going to upset the people, man. It's going to be civil unrest, all right? It's going to be, people are going to protest. It says home entries and warrants. It says ICE has been accused of entering homes without judicial warrants using administrative documents, legal challenges, and rulings dispute this practice. It says civil liberties debate. It says critics say that these tactics cannot violate the constitutional rights. It says supporters argue um, they're needed for enforcement and contest legal and political uses. All right. So I'll put in, what is constitutional rights. All right. And this is for edification purposes because, I want to do a video, on this. It says constitutional rights are basic freedoms and protections guaranteed to the people by the U.S. Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. These rights limit what the government, police, ICE, military, courts is allowed to do. All right, it says they exist to stop abuse of power. All right, so ultimately, these devils, man, they come up with these grievous laws, man. They come up with these oppressive laws, man, to override your constitutional rights, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that in the book of Isaiah, man. What is it, Isaiah 10? Let's get Isaiah 10 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that decree and righteous decrees and write grievances which they prescribe. All right. It says, um, in the NLT, it says, what sorrow waits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws, man. All right. So, Esau Edom, man, he's making all these laws and, doing all these things, man, to overwrite, your constitutional rights, man. All right, which eventually, draconian laws, man. All right, extreme measures. All right, that's pretty much what this devil is doing, man. He's going to extreme measures to overrule your constitutional rights. All right, so this devil, man, that's what he does, man. What's another one? I believe it's um what is it? Psalms 94. All right. So this is Psalms 94:20 says, shall the throne of iniquity, all right, have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law. All right. So your governments, man. All right, your elites, your governments. All right. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? All right. And the answer is no, man. All right. It says which frame mischief by law, man. You see, that's what they do. All right. They set up. They're doing wickedness, doing evil. All right, by setting up these oppressive laws. All right, these oppressive um yeah, these oppressive laws. All right, to oppress the people. All right, that's what they do to overrule your constitutional rights. All right, that's that's the mindset of these devils, man. These devils want to be in control of everything, man. All right, these devils want to be in control of everything. That's just their mindset. All right, it says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous. All right, and the soul of the righteous are the Israelites, because ultimately, all right, that's the elect of the Israelites, because ultimately that's what's coming down to. All right, they're coming up with these grievous laws and these unrighteous decrees. All right, to eventually, for Jake, man. All right, that's what it's going to come down to, man. You know, that's exactly what's going to come down to, man. Especially those that serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right, in righteousness and in truth. All right, those that keep, the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. This devil comes up, all right, and comes up with these unrighteous decrees, all right, out of wickedness, man, just out of pure evil. All right. So, this devil, man, he's coming down having that great wrath. All right. It says here, it says core constitutional right, plain language. All right, this is your First Amendment. All right, freedom of speech, religion, press, peaceful assembly, petition, and government. All right, it says the government cannot punish you for what you believe, say, or peacefully protest, man. And that's what they're doing. All right, people are out there, peacefully protesting, man. But you got these ICE agents. All right, you got these federal agents out there gunning people down. All right, shooting people with pepper spray. All right, smoke guns. All right, they're the ones that are inciting the violence, man. All right, you got them, trying to monitor our speech. All right, uh, um, you know, pretty much take away our freedom of speech. Or eventually, it's going to come a time where they're going to completely do away, with the Bible, man. All right, we won't be able to go on the highways and hedges to be able to teach this truth. We won't be able to go on highways and hedges to be able to reprove, man. All right, and rebuke. All right, like the book of Amos, what is it, 8 and 11? All right, famine of the word. All right, that's the times that we're coming in, man. Famine of the word, man. All right, so they're definitely trying to, you know, take away our freedom of speech, man. Most definitely, man, and that's part of prophecy. All right, the scriptures tell you about that, man. That's part of prophecy, man. All right, it says the Fourth Amendment. It says very relevant to ICE home entries. It says protects you from unreasonable searches, unlawful seizures, forced entries into your home without a judge signed warrant. All right, so that's the immunity that they have, man. Donald Trump gave these ICE agents, that damn devil, gave these ICE agents and these federal agents, man, the immunity, all right, to do these things. All right, so Jacob's trouble is gonna get immensely worse, man. These are the times that we're in, and it's gonna continue to get worse and worse and worse, man. In time. All right, let's get all right, let's get the book of Jeremiah 30 and 7, man. All right, that's this is we're in Jacob's trouble. All right, so it's only right if we bring that scripture out. It says Jeremiah 30 and 7. Let me see. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, at last, it says, that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. The time of Jacob's trouble, and that he is the elect, all right, of Israel. They're the ones that are going to be saved out of it. All right. Those are the ones that Yahweh Shema Shai, are going to deliver. All right. Now let's read in the NLT. It says, in all history, there has never been such a time of terror. All right. In all history, there has never been such a time of terror, man. All right. It says, it will be a time of trouble for my people Israel, man. There you go. It says, yet in the end they will be saved. All right. And we're seeing, man, these ICE agents, man, coming after, Jake, man, particularly the Northern Kingdom. All right, if you got brown color skin, all right, we see them, a lot of them coming after Jake, man. All right, specifically the Northern Kingdom. All right, so this is clearly, we're clearly in Jacob's trouble, man. All right, we're in Jacob's trouble, and it's going to continue to intensify. All right, let's get the book of Matthew. What is it? 21 and verse 24. It says, no, oh, that's John. Salakia. I'm going to get Matthew 21 and verse 24. Or is it 24 and 21? Salakia. I think it's 24 and 21. Yep. It says, this is Matthew 24 and 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Or in NOC, it says, for there will be greater anguish than at the time since the world began, and it will never be so great again. All right. So that time of great tribulation, man. We're gonna go through Jacob's trouble. All right, it's the hour of temptation. All right, that great tribulation is upon us, man. All right, and it's gonna be a time like no other, man. It's not gonna compare to any of the times that we have been through. All right, 70 A.D. the transatlantic slave trade. Um, you know, you know, all those times, man, that Yahweh Bashim Shai has brought here, on this earth. All right, it's gonna be a time like no other. All right. Um, let's see. Let's see if there's anything else. All right. It says how this applies to ICE going door to door. It says here's the constitutional line. It says ICE cannot force entry without a judge signed warrant. It says ICE cannot lie their way inside. It says you can refuse to open the door. You can ask them to slide the warrant under the door. All right. It says the administrative ICE warrant, form I-20, I-205. It says not signed by a judge does not authorize home entry, man. All right. And they're clearly, overruling that second authority, man, because they got the immunity to do it. All right. Again, this devil's coming down having great wrath. All right. And these ICE agents are getting that authority through these damn devils, man. All right. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Donald Trump is giving the orders, and he's taking orders from the elites, man. All right. To allow these things to take place. All right. Let's get a few more scriptures. What is it? 14 and well, let's get second Esdras 8 and 50, and then we'll finish off with second Esdras 14. All right, this is second Esdras 8 and 50, and it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in their latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. All right, many miseries, all right, are coming upon the people, man. All right, judgments are going to come upon the people. All right, it's going to be, a bunch of, miseries, man. Civil unrest. All right, it's going to be civil wars. All right, spoken of in the book of Isaiah, 19 and 2. All right, civil wars. All right, the book of Second Esdras. Okay, it's going to be a time like no other, man. It's going to be it's going to be real hectic out here, man. It's going to be real perilous. All right, that's the times that we're in, man. All right, you know why? Because they have walked in great pride, man. The people, man, in the latter times, in the end times, man. All right, it's going to be a lot of judgment. A lot of chaos going on, man. These are the many miseries are that's going to take place, man. Famines, all right, great death, all right, sword, destruction, all right. Let's get Second Ezra 14, and we'll finish off with that. What is Second Ezra 14 and 16? It says, "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast uh, seen happen shall be done hereafter, man. Greater evils are coming upon Babylon the Great, coming upon this place, man. All right. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. All right. So much the more shall evil increase upon them that dwell therein. So the evil is going to continue to increase, man. The evil is going to continue to get worse, man. All right. These are the times Jacob's trouble is going to continue to intensify, man. All right. These are the times that we're in, Jake. All right. We're in real perilous times right now, man. Matter of fact, man, let's get that word perilous, man, and we'll end off with that. All right. Let's go to the etymology, man, and get that word perilous. Slakia. Slakia. Damn, we can't spell. Is it perilous? Peril. Here we go. Perilous. It says full of danger, risky, involving exposure to death, destruction, or injury. There you go. Spiritually dangerous. All right. You see? Full of danger, risky, man, involving exposure to death, man, because a lot of people can get put to death, man, during Jacob's trouble. All right. We're already seeing people getting put to death here in Jacob's trouble, man. All right. Spiritually dangerous, man. And spiritually dangerous because if you don't have Yahweh Shai, all right, in this time, man, you're going to get judged, man. Yahweh Shai is not going to be with you, man, and you're going to get judged, man. The scriptures tell you the angels encampeth around those that fear him. All right, so if you have fear for Yahweh Shai, the angels are going to encamp around you, man. That's the spiritual part about it. All right, but, if you don't fear the Lord, man, you're out there doing wickedness. All right, you're out there committing iniquity. All right, that's what's going to make it spiritually dangerous for you, man. All right, because you're not gonna have no protection, man, in that time. All right, you're not gonna be saved in that time, man. Especially if you're calling on the names of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. He's not gonna hear you. All right, the book of Proverbs 1:28 tells you, man. Then let's finish off with that. Let's finish off with that right there. Death by pain. Let's get the book of Proverbs. What is the book of Proverbs? 1. Slakia. What is it? 1:28. It says, because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set not at my counsel and would none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear cometh. It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, man. All right. So in that time, man, Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to hear you, man. You call upon him because you didn't, you didn't, you refused to listen, all right, to the prophets that were out there prophesying, man, telling you the things that are coming. All right. The scriptures tell you, man, where there's no vision, the people perish, man. And I'm gonna keep repeating that. I'm gonna keep bringing out these scriptures, man. All right, because these are the times that we're in. All right. So, man, hey, with that being said, I just pray this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS, a great millstone, and teach them well. All right, and this is Brother Nabal. Until the next lesson, Shalom, Shalom.